Everything you've been told about fertilizers, soil amendments, and feeding your plants is backwards. You don't have a nutrient problem, you have a life problem, and no bag of synthetic NPK is ever going to fix it. In fact, the more chemicals you pour into that ground, the deeper you dig your own grave as a gardener. Here's what nobody in the mainstream gardening world wants to admit. Healthy soil doesn't need to be fed. It needs to be alive. And right now, for most of us, it isn't. But ancient farmers, thousands of years before laboratories, before corporations, before the fertilizer industry existed, already knew the fix. And they were making it in their kitchens with rice water, weeds, and a little patience. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 forgotten liquid preparations that will resurrect dead soil, rebuild microbial life from the ground up, and transform that concrete in your backyard into something that actually grows food the way nature intended. These aren't theories, they're time-tested methods that have been quietly working for millennia while the modern world forgot they existed. Let's get into it. Why modern soil dies and why ancient solutions still work. The revolution in chemical agriculture promised convenience, but delivered a devastating blow to soil ecosystems. When we focused solely on feeding plants with synthetic nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, we bypassed nature's intricate underground network entirely. Healthy soil contains billions of bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and other microorganisms in every single handful. These invisible workers digest organic matter, release minerals, build humus, and form symbiotic partnerships with plant roots. Without this living community, even the richest looking dirt becomes nothing more than sand, silt, and clay particles with no real biological activity. It can't hold water effectively, cycle nutrients naturally, or resist plant diseases. This is where ancient farmers possessed wisdom that modern agriculture forgot. Long before scientists could observe microbes under microscopes, traditional farmers across Asia, Africa, and South America discovered that certain liquid preparations could revive exhausted soil. They noticed that soaking specific materials in water created cloudy, bubbling brews that made their crops greener and their soil softer. These weren't fertilizers in the modern sense. They were microbial tonics that reintroduced life to dead ground. Rice wash, the simplest soil resurrection method. The most accessible of these ancient secrets starts in your kitchen with uncooked rice. This method harnesses lactic acid bacteria to quickly colonize soil and suppress harmful pathogens. Take 1 cup of uncooked rice and rinse it gently in 2 to 3 cups of clean water. The goal isn't to wash the rice completely clean, but to release starches into the water, creating that characteristic cloudy appearance. Cover this starchy liquid loosely and leave it at room temperature for 2 to 3 days. During this fermentation period, lactic acid bacteria naturally present on the rice multiply rapidly, creating a slightly sour-smelling liquid with a thin film on top. This is exactly what you want, nature's own probiotic for soil. Dilute this fermented rice wash at a ratio of 1 part liquid to 10 parts water and apply it directly around your plants. The microbes immediately begin jump-starting decomposition, feeding existing beneficial fungi, and creating an environment where good bacteria can outcompete harmful organisms. Fermented plant juice, capturing nature's growth hormones. For gardeners ready to take the next step, fermented plant juice captures the vitality of rapidly growing plants and makes it available to both soil microbes and crops. Harvest approximately 1 kilogram of vigorous plant material. Young comfrey leaves, grass clippings, or common weeds like nettle work excellently. Chop this material and place it in a clean container, then mix thoroughly with 500 grams of brown sugar or molasses. The sugar draws out plant juices while feeding the fermenting microorganisms. Press the mixture down firmly, cover with a breathable cloth, and allow fermentation for 5 to 7 days. During this process, lactic acid bacteria, wild yeasts, and various beneficial microbes digest the sugars while releasing enzymes, natural plant hormones, and amino acids. The resulting dark, sweet-smelling liquid should be strained and stored for garden use. Dilute at a ratio of 1 part liquid to 20 parts water, and apply as either a soil drench or foliar spray during the active growing season. Gardeners consistently report stronger leaf growth, improved stress resistance, and increased earthworm activity in treated areas. Compost tea, the microbial diversity champion. While Rice Wash and Fermented Plant Juice provide targeted microorganisms, Compost Tea delivers unmatched biological diversity to depleted soil systems. Begin with 1 kilogram of mature, finished compost, dark, crumbly, and smelling earthy, not sour or like ammonia. Place this compost in a mesh bag or clean pillowcase and submerge it in 20 liters of water. The key to successful compost tea lies in oxygenation. Use an aquarium pump with an air stone to keep beneficial aerobic microbes alive and multiplying. Add 1 tablespoon of molasses to feed the bacterial populations, then let this mixture bubble for 24 to 36 hours. The finished product will be a foamy brown liquid packed with bacteria, fungal spores, protozoa, and beneficial nematodes. Apply this compost tea immediately at full strength around plants, or use it as a foliar spray to coat leaves with protective microorganisms that prevent disease from taking hold. What actually happens underground when you do this? These ancient liquids work by addressing soil problems at their biological foundation. As microbial populations increase, they produce natural glues like glomalin that bind soil particles into aggregates. These aggregates create the crumbly texture that experienced gardeners prize, full of air pockets and water channels that roots can easily penetrate. Treated soils become natural sponges, holding moisture longer while releasing it gradually to plant roots. Over successive seasons, organic matter decomposes into humus, the stable carbon fraction that resists erosion and builds long-term soil fertility. The greatest advantage of these methods is their focus on feeding soil rather than plants directly. Once beneficial microbes return, soil begins managing itself naturally. Nutrients become available without constant synthetic inputs. Pest and disease pressure decreases. Water requirements drop significantly, and results accumulate season after season, meaning gardeners who commit to these practices watch their soil fertility improve rather than decline over time. The forgotten liquids that bring dead soil back to life represent more than simple recipes. They are a return to sustainable practices that built healthy soils for thousands of years before chemical shortcuts existed. Whether you choose rice wash, fermented plant juice, or compost tea, you're not adding conventional fertilizer. You're reviving the living engine that makes soil naturally fertile and resilient. Start small with whichever method appeals to you most. Apply it consistently. Watch your soil transform season by season. This is the foundation of truly sustainable gardening, and it's within reach of anyone with basic materials and patience. If this opened your eyes, subscribe to Low Input Living for more soil revival techniques, and share this with a fellow gardener who's ready to stop fighting their dirt and start working with it.